Speaking of being together, you said that.
Oh, right.
You wanted to talk about.
Well, there was this
before you were a CD.
Before, babe, how dare you? No, there was someone that wrote to us on Twitter or emailed us, and I can't remember because I have my new iPhone. I can't find my fucking note. But anyway, he said he was asking how we met.
Yeah.
And if we could tell kind of our courting story. And I thought, you know what? Why not discuss how I met your mother? How I met your mommies? And so Tommy and I met, I believe, the first time at a place on Sunset. Upper Sunset, the Cat Club, which is owned by the guy in the Stray Cats, right, Tommy?
That's right. Yeah.
And it was, I think it was a Friday or Saturday night show that this crazy broad used to book. And I was standing outside smoking cigarettes like I used to feverishly.
And she was like, hey, what's up, man? Like, I'm pretty fucking, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, like that.
How would I, is that really what I was like?
You were smoking and you had like these leather boots on, like tall boots. I think you had fishnet.
Little gothy still in my goth.
Fishnet,
yeah.
Like, on, and then like a skirt, and hair was pulled back kind of tight.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it
and
was
you were
not.
Smoking. And
I had
you
a
were
bob
like,
back then.
You're like, so, like, whatever. What's the purpose, man? And then I walked up and you were like, so are you cool or what?
Oh, that's so silly. That is not how this went at all.
You put your smoke out.
You know what? You're right. I was smoking, and I was a lot more depressive back then. And I was a little dismissive of you. I do remember being like, whatever. Who are you? Just because I was a ripe 26-year-old.
Yeah.
And you were this 23-year-old scrub.
But you wanted the D. Don't forget that when you saw me.
Babe,
you were like,
you were 23. You had a mattress on the ground.
You didn't know about the mattress on the ground.
I didn't yet, but I sensed it, which is why I was like, oh boy.
Oh,
this
bullshit.
guy. I sensed that you didn't even use soap, which was true later, that you used shampoo to shower your crotch.
Shampoo as soap.
Babe,
a lot of people do that.
Remember when I first spent the night at your house eventually?
Yeah.
And I was like, where's your soap? And you're like, what
there's
soap?
shampoo in there.
Yeah. So what, you were using shampoo as soap?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go out and buy soap for the shower. Nobody does that.
Nobody. Who does that?
You use shampoo as soap.
Do you realize how your style of life has elevated since you've been with me? Like
the rhyme style's elevated, the style of beats is elevated,
technique.
but it's still Guru and Premier.
Do you realize that you use soap now and body wash?
Yeah. I mean,
and toothpaste?
I do these things because you're needy, but I mean...
yeah, hygiene. No, but we met at that place, remember? And then I liked you, but you were young.
Yeah.
And then I got to know you, and actually what really attracted me to you was that you were really funny. Like, you were 23. You were one of the few people in stand-up who, like, immediately, you were funny. 23 times ago already had it. And I knew, I was like, oh, this guy's so rad. And I had a room that I was booking at a place called Tangier.
Ah, Tangier.
Remember that?
On Hillhurst?
It was on Hillhurst in Los Feliz, a hipster. And that's where I met you and Ryan Sickler.
Yeah.
And Matt Fulshron. And Jay Lawson, I believe, was coming around there.
Larson was.
And it was a cool place.
Cell.
Sickle Cell. That's where I met you guys. And this is way back. This is like when we first started doing stand-up, all of us together. And I would book you to close my shows, like a lot, because I thought you were so funny. And you were like the only male comic who didn't try to like be cheesy with me and put the make on me.
That's true. I was very sweet to you. It was just nice, gentlemanly.
You were gentlemanly.
Yeah.
And you had an air of... I don't know, like kind of a nice spickish quality to you.
What?
You know what I mean? Like you weren't just a white guy. You had some flavors to you.
Okay.
Some Latin. No, because you'd gone to Spain and you came back and you were like,
pero la cosa es
que
no sufre mi amor. Ay, 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 ay.
Yeah. But I like that about you because you told me your mother is Peruvian.
Yeah.
And I don't fucking trust white people. I don't trust white people.
You don't trust waspy people.
I don't trust because it's a lot of the times
it's BS.
They're bullshit.
It's like a fucking car salesman.
Like, exactly.
This guy with this smile. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's my father. That's my family, and we don't trust
your
bullshit.
Mentality. Yeah,
that's right. Communist.
So a little spick has got a little flavor to him.
I knew that you had some dirty in you.
God,
you had some dirty and I need to know that something's wrong with you just a little bit. I can't be friends with people that are perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was back then.
What is it?
I'm not going to tell your stories for you, but you revealed something later.
Yeah.
And I like that. Something that happened to you when you were 18.
Yeah.
Your first year in college.
That's what you think is like.
Yeah. And
really?
that's when I was like, I think I like you more. When something bad happens.
You can tell that. I overdosed on drugs.
Right.
It's not.
But that relates to me. I was like, all right.
I have to tell that. I guess
Tell a story.
I've told that story before.
I don't, but that's somewhere
I haven't
in the
told
archives.
it. Yeah, it's somewhere in the archive. I'll tell it again.
Tell it again.
Not now, right?
Okay, well,
that's a long story.
Summarize it. Brief.
I mean, I took a bunch of drugs and I almost died. And then I woke up in an emergency room and they're like, "You're in a coma. You just came out of a coma."
Were you really in a coma?
Yeah.
I didn't know that bit.
Yeah.
For
sure.
how long?
Not that long, like 7 hours.
Well, that explains a lot of your slowness now.
Whatever, man.
You were darling. You know what I really loved about you? And this is the honest to God truth. I think people are attracted to each other on subconscious levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something in you that I need because of my own whatever wiring.
I think that's true too. I do think that.
And so for you, my wiring was very chaotic, a lot of anxiety, a lot of fears, a lot of bullshit, and you were very calm, even at 23. Tom Segura at 23 was like a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
And I really admired that about you. And I still to this day, it's one of the things I like about you.
Sweetie.
And
I love you.
you eat my ass. And that's really what a marriage and a relationship is based on.
That's so true. We should send a postcard that says that. And I do eat your ass, and I'm proud of it. And it tastes.
What's it taste like?
It tastes good. I mean,
Chocolate enemas.
I think you hit something. You nailed it.
Yeah.
That people are attracted to each other based much more so than on physical things. It's something subconsciously that's drawn. Like I saw you. I said, "Look at this pile of tits.
Look at this cum dog.
Yeah,
I really
want to, I want to release myself into this.
Well, obviously, yeah.
I want to give it to her, know? And she looks like she craves the D. That's all I'm seeing,
Babe, don't be serious.
Juice. So, no. So here's the truth. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
I saw you. I saw this pile of tits, and I said,
"Babe."
I says to myself, I go.
I said to her,
I was attracted to you, and then like you were like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, "Hey," and the truth is, I found you very attractive, but right away, I was told you were off limits. So for me, that's kind of like airs out
give
of you.
up.
Yeah, well, I would not give up, but I was like, oh, well,
you're gonna kick some rocks, and
you
make me sound like I was Johnny Depp back then.
Can I finish?
Smoking black cigarettes.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
So I was like, this chick's pretty cool, but we just became friendly in doing our shows. And I always liked you, but I just didn't think of you as a possibility because you were off limits, like you had a boyfriend,
right?
And so I was told that, and then. When I was told you're dating a while, I was like, oh, this is like, I wasn't like, I'll probably date her one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I just didn't see it as a possibility. And then a mutual friend of ours, called me one time at work and was like, hey, CP is a free agent. She just got cut by the fucking wolves. So
by the Viet Cong.
Yeah.
I'm out. I was dating an Asian guy at the time. Yeah.
And I was like, really?
Huh.
And he was like, yep, it just hit the wire. You can pick her up off of waivers before the other guys find out. And I called you and I set up something this. And I came over and just hung out with you backyard.
No, but hold on.
Yes.
But remember before that you called me and you're like,
oh
hey.
My God. The first time I called her ever. Because I didn't even call you before, like for spots. That was just like emails and stuff.
Yeah, back then. Yeah.
So I called you and you're like, hey, and we just had a little conversation. I was like, so what are you doing this weekend? And you were like, nothing. And I was like, cool. And at the time, I was living in Hollywood and like one of the it just becomes like a thing when you live in Hollywood. It's a social thing. It's a health thing, but it's just like people do is go on hikes.
Yeah.
Like Runyon Canyon, all these places. So I was like, what are you doing? She says, nothing. And I go, do you want to go on a hike? And she goes, no. And you know what I said? Okay, well, maybe we'll do something else some other I didn't even come up with like...
Well, I'm such an idiot. I didn't realize you were actually asking me out.
Yeah.
I thought you literally were like, do you want to go
love
hiking?
Would you like to hike with me?
And I thought to myself, I could either lie to this guy and be like, I love hiking, and then end up end up dating you
a hiker.
and being miserable. So I
Right.
kind of wanted to be honest with you. Like, look, man, that's not my bag. Like, I fucking hate that shit. I'm much better in a bar smoking and drinking.
Yeah. Well,
Which
I
we
found
ended
out
up
about
doing a
that.
lot more
Yeah.
of that.
So I hung out with you, and here's what really started to attract me to you.
Oh, okay.
You had a bad attitude.
Right.
You had a bad attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I've always liked girls I like girls that were straightforward.
Yeah.
I like, no, I don't want, like, very direct.
Shitty.
You know?
You
I
like
li-
assholes.
I don't like assholes because that's different. I don't like a real cunty bitch. I don't like that.
You don't like high maintenance.
I like directness.
Right.
I like somebody who knows what they like, who knows what they don't like. And I like a little bit of just, a little shittiness. Like,
Little sass.
a little sass. We'll tell them to fuck off then. I like that. And so as soon as I saw a little bit of your sassitude and you had something negative to say about like men in general, I was fully erect and ready to pursue you.
Wow.
Like at first it was just like, oh, cool. Like I want to get to know you, date. Like let's go on a date.
Yeah.
Once I found once that part, like you're saying there's some need
Yes.
felt like to be filled. Once that was put on the table, you were like, how about this? You want to try a bite of this? That's when I was like, I'm going to come to this restaurant every day.
But do you know, can I tell you why I think you like that shitty girl?
Why?
Because your sisters and your mother are exactly like that.
Yeah.
And not in a fun, playful way.
Yeah.
They're not like, when I say shitty, I don't mean like hurtful. Like I'll never intentionally hurt people.
Yeah. Oh, you've done it. But yeah.
Sorry. But I don't mean to. You're just rascally. I'm rascally. Fiery. I think fiery might be the word.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's in your family.
Yeah. You can be a real shit starter.
Oh, my shirt's on backwards.
But then the thing is, like with most like grouchy dogs,
Right.
the truth is they just want to be pet.
Oh, yeah.
And then they become loving dogs.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Is that you were like, and then when I pet your head for a while,
Yeah.
and I gave you the affection that you needed and the juice that you needed, then you became this really loving, tender dog.
Because you know what I want. But that's why insecure dogs, they bark loud, right?
Right.
Little chihuahuas. And I'm like that insecure dog.
Right.
A lot of barking. But then once you show me affection, I show you my belly. And then we're best friends.
And you were kind of like, also, I was also intrigued because you were kind of this alty kind of, you know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
full on.
Yeah.
You're kind of a punk rock chick. That,
In my
you know?
core, yes.
Right. So like you had all this stuff that was like fun and new. Like it's always fun when you're a new couple, like when you start dating someone and they're like kind of introducing you to new things, new ideas, you know what I mean? Like new music. And you were like, fucking yeah, like, check out my knee-high socks. And you were just like a little weirdo. I liked it a lot.
And you were the most normal guy I dated. You had like an SUV. You were the first person I'd ever been around that had an SUV.
Okay, at the time, just to be clear, I was driving a Jeep Cherokee. And the first time she got into it, she was like, whoa, I've never been in a Mack truck before. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, this thing is huge, man. And I was like,
It
oh my God,
was.
if you feel the way about my cock that you do about this Jeep, we're going to be married. And look what happened.
It was a tank because
You
all my
clearly
friends
have no sense of size.
Well, dude, all my friends were dirty, scummy hipsters and punkers and douchebags. Like nobody had those nice cars. And
yeah, it wasn't that
None of
nice
my
or that
friends.
big, to be honest. Though,
you think?
No, I mean of course it was nice. It's not. I'm not saying it's a piece of shit, but it wasn't like some overly luxurious car, and it also definitely was not like when you were talking about how big it was. I was like, oh my God, has she ever been on like an American street before? Where she thinks that this.
Whatever.
I totally was like, this is like a girl, like a communist girl who's just like America, big, everything. Big.
I totally, but you kind of have taken the communism out of me because, like, I did grow up with two parents from this communist country, and there's a lot of shit that I don't know about Americans.
That's true. I've come to discover that you're basically a foreigner.
I am.
I know.
I mean, I wasn't even born
it's really
here.
Interesting that somebody can be raised. No, I'm being serious. And like, there's so many things where I'm like, Jesus.
But if your parents never, and I was an only child for most of my life, and if your parents never show you that stuff, like you just don't know it. You think
know.
everybody lives the way you do.
Sure.
So I don't know.
We talked about that a lot.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What do you know about
Bikes.
Bikes.
Well, there you go. That's your mommy's.
Yeah, and then there
beginnings.
was I fell so hard for this chick, and then I just pursued her.
Which one? Oh, okay.
This one.
Well, I loved you. I thought you were awesome. I knew I was going to marry you.
Yeah.
At Danforth France's backyard party.
I haven't seen that guy in forever.
He moved to New York.
He did?
Yeah, I think so. I see it on
For
Facebook.
stand-up?
Probably.
Yeah?
More sketch. I think he's a more sketch guy now.
Yeah.
Anyways, I liked you from the minute, and I'm glad we're married. It's been a good 20 years we've been married now.
Have we been married that long?
Feels like it.